internet. It's such a wonderful place, so why not post asking people to give me ideas and I'll write anything they tell me. What could go wrong? And I am exhausted. This diesel punk? What's diesel punk romance? A square of syrup dissolved as Jean Le Carte burned it for power and he jumped, the mountain shattering beneath him. This is a freaking gauntlet. For any of this to make sense, we have to go back to the start. Okay, so I found this little place called Royal Road. It's a place for writers and readers of all sorts. And I thought this would be a good place to ask for my ideas. But I'm about to post this thing and probably get so many suggestions, or maybe none. My fear is that no one will respond, or that 100 people respond.
24 hours later.
18 replies. Oh goodness. This diesel punk? What's diesel punk romance? I don't know what diesel punk means. I've heard of steampunk, but diesel punk? A female ghost saves her former lover's family from an impending train accident? Authors are so creative. And like, I've done this challenge with friends before, but oh my goodness. The world's greatest waffle maker is saving the world from an interstellar alien French toast invasion. And then someone commented on that like, oh cuss yes, someone write this idea. Oh goodness. What is this website? Prompt. Write any sort of prompt. People. Well, I better get started. And start I did. The first story I did was suggested by this user, prompt, write any prompt. I felt like I had a clever idea, but by the time I finished, it took me 1 hour. I just got distracted and things like this. And I promised myself I was only going to write 100 to 300 words and spend 5 to 15 minutes per piece. And I tried to do that, but if I did that, it would have taken me 4 hours total for the whole challenge. And so I had to be quicker, and here came energy drink number 1. As the caffeine flowed down my throat, I was able to lock in and do the next 3 stories. And then I started getting a problem. Just 4 stories in, my eyes were hurting from the computer screen. I plowed on, but by the time I finished the next 4 stories, almost halfway done, just under, my eyes could not look at the screen any longer. They gave up. I had to close my eyes and try to write, and I would make typos, and it was okay, but it wasn't the best. So I took a break and I ran to the store to get some eye drops, and I finished my second energy drink. Without much thought, I just went for it. I wrote 3 stories, and then next thing I knew, I only had 6 stories left. I know the math doesn't add up, but I counted wrong. And so I went for it. And I got down to the last story, and it only took me about 2 hours to catch up. So 7 straight hours of writing so far without the revising time. Then I got to the last story, and then the prompts just about killed me. The prompt was from Hiro Gohan, and it says, write an AI woman that breaks up with her husband because of his jealousy. First off, I'm not a huge fan of AI. Second off, this is not my type of story that I write. I write some romance, but writing about romance with an AI and then breaking up, it was just a little uncomfortable for me, which was what I wanted. I wanted to be pushed out of my comfort zone. So I complained for about 20 minutes when it probably only took me about 18 minutes to write. When I sat down and finished it, it was relieving. I was so tired. I slept like the dead that night, and I had dreams of Word documents, blank pages, things to fix with grammar, and the suggestions just kept coming in and in and in on my dreams. It was actually kind of terrifying. In the middle of the night, I woke up and had a thought, this video better get me a lot of subscribers. Is it all worth it? I had spent $25 and 10 hours on some internet stunt, and all I had to show for it was astigmatism in my eye and a tiring day of work ahead of me with my full-time job. The next day was the day to publish it. The cover luckily got approved, and I've been able to just upload my stories that day. I went through the stories one by one and spent about 5 to 10 minutes fixing typos, switching out some words, and revising it. So that's another about 2 hours of time there. I got a few comments. They were very nice, and my story got over 1,000 views, which I guess is good. I mean, I'm not making any money from that, but cool. I've already shared with you some of the prompts, but I want to share with you my story that was my favorite. So sit back, relax, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button, because it is time. It is time for you to hear a story. Jean Le Carte breathed in deeply. The scent of syrup permeating his lungs. In each hand was a waffle, each squared filled perfectly with syrup. He was the greatest waffle maker and had been summoned to the mortal realm once again to save humanity. On the opposite mountain were the interstellar aliens with their French toast. A square of syrup dissolved as John le Carte burned it for power, and he jumped, the mountain shattering beneath him. The aliens' champion jumped as well, meeting him mid-air over the valley. Of course, French toast was no match for waffles, but below them was the human populace. Thus, most of John le Carte's energy was spent shielding them. Waffle and French toast met, sending an explosion in the air as he directed it upwards, exploding a hole in the sun. Every square of syrup burned for power on one of the waffles, and he punched the alien in the chest, ribs cracking from the impact as the heathen was sent flying into the atmosphere. In the 6 seconds it took for the aliens to recover, John le Carte revived everyone on the planet, burning up the rest of the syrup in his other waffle. He then allowed himself to be chased deeper in the galaxy and away from his home planet. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you. Please, if you enjoyed it, subscribe, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye. Oh, side note, if you want to read this whole collection, I'm going to be posting them all as individual shorts or YouTube videos on my channel. Not all of them are going to have fancy visuals edited with them. And the link is in the description to the Royal Road and to the Amazon listing where you can get it for free for the next 5 days.